Hello everyone, we will be continuing with what were we doing? JSML. So brief about JSML. I think I started with an introduction, right? Now let's try to do things quickly from today. Okay, because now you have the pace for political science. Things are very logically progressing. Each time you move forward, you build up a new concept, and hence the previous concept becomes just a justification over which you build another concept, with this being justification for this block, this being justification for this block. This will keep on moving. ठीक है? If that is clear, let's understand JSML. If in one word I will have to explain you how to recollect what is all there in JSML, just try to understand, or let's do this. Lock, you remember we did lock. You always try to remember L is limited state. How do you limit a state? By rights. What kind of rights Locke gave? Natural rights. ठीक है? अचानक से now you remember all the things. State of nature, state of peace. ठीक है? And you remember what was the objective? State of peace. What was the need for contract? Inconveniences. Inconveniences. What rights? Natural rights. Citizens allowed to keep. Three natural rights were allowed to keep as absolute rights. Which one? Life, liberty, and property. His main agenda was to give justification of property. Okay, now understand life, liberty. Now, liberty, who is giving? Locke is giving liberty. L, liberty, L, limited state. Now, liberty, because Locke is giving, who becomes the father of liberalism? Locke becomes. But understand, his liberty was only limited to giving property rights. He was only bothered about गिविंग जस्टिफिकेशन कि भैया प्रॉपर्टी क्यों रखेंगे हम लोग. ओके, दैट्स इट. इसलिए स्टेट का रोल क्या था? गिव सिक्योरिटी, प्रोटेक्ट माई प्रॉपर्टी. ठीक है? नाइट वॉचमैन, आई एम स्लीपिंग, प्रोटेक्ट माई प्रॉपर्टी. नथिंग एल्स. You do not provide me food, you do not provide me anything, I do not need it. Just provide me security. ठीक है? No intervention. Now, with that in mind, with that in our head, we will start with J.S. Mill. ठीक है? बिकॉज टू नॉट गेट कन्फ्यूज्ड कि फादर ऑफ लिबरलिज्म तो लॉक है. क्या हो गया उसका? वेरी नैरो एजेंडा था. प्रॉपर्टी ही वांटेड टू डिफाइन, नथिंग एल्स. whereas J.S. Mill, when we talk about if anyone is liberal, it is Mill. Liberal philosophy, now we are going into understand this thing. Whole agenda here till now in Locke is justification of capitalism or property, nothing else. Liberty, article 21 हमारा. Understand, when J.S. Mill talks about liberty, he talks about one of the most important point that in fact differentiates animal and man. Animal can make only sounds. Only human can have speeches. Freedom of speech and expression. Now, how can you talk about liberty without freedom of speech and expression? If there is no freedom of speech and expression, where tell me one place where there is no freedom of speech and expression. Tell me, Syria or let's say Saudi. Do you think there is freedom of speech and expression there? China. Do you think there is freedom of speech and expression there? No, there is not. And hence, what achanak se logically what will come in your head? We are going to talk about democracy. You are building up things. ठीक है, इसको प्रॉपर्टी बतानी थी तो इसलिए लॉक अपनी बता रहा था. नेचुरल राइट, लिबर्टी, लाइफ, अब ये तो ज़रूरी है. सुनोगे कैसे नहीं तो. मेन है प्रॉपर्टी. ठीक है. Property in your constitution, is it a fundamental right? No, it was a fundamental right in Indian constitution, but it is not now. Okay, it is in your check where it is. Schedule 9 में नेहरू ने डाल दिया था ना. So with that, ठीक है. So broad agenda you have to understand. Now also understand one thing. How will Mill start? How will Mill start thinking? So Mill will start thinking just like a student do, by defending his master, by defending his teacher. Now, who is the teacher we are going to talk about? Bentham. Now, understand Western political thought we are studying. Thought. So, what was the prominent thought that was going on in the West? That is Europe. So, it was the utilitarian principle, utilitarianism. And who will be giving most broad definition of utilitarianism? Bentham. So, we will consider utilitarianism as Benthamism. 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 Okay. Ism is for thought, ideology, I think. Now let's begin what Bentham wants to tell. तो भाई Bentham, let's say teacher of Mill. Not even teacher, let's say Mill was very much influenced by Bentham's writing. And because whatever your teacher will be like, you will be like that only. Okay, because you are accumulating knowledge from him. So Mill will be a utilitarian. Now what is Bentham's utilitarianism? So understand the philosophy of utilitarianism is very, understand this thing, it is very very tough to comprehend. It makes no sense sometimes. So Bentham came up, okay, I will explain in very layman terms so that even a normal man can understand it. Okay, even a common man can understand it. What is the concept? कि भाई man है ये, and he can do what actions, and his actions जो हैं are guided by only two things, two masters, pain and pleasure, nothing else. Pain and pleasure. Whatever will give pain, he will not try to do. Whatever will give pleasure, he will try to do. ठीक है. And understand this thing. Pleasure जो है, it will come from only material. materialistic thing it is. ठीक है, समोसे खाने में अच्छा लग रहा है किसी को, someone is wanting diamonds, gold, तो ये चीज़ materialistic है. With that clear, now understand how you can use this concept for capitalism. You can say that pleasure, if you are doing business and you are gaining profit, what is that? Pleasure. If you are making loss, what is that? Pain. And theory क्या कह रही है? Benthamism, that actions will be guided by only two masters. Master 1 pain, master 2 pleasure. So what should be the way? This should be the way, right? This is the correct path that needs to be taken, because you do not want to go there. As simple as that. Now let's assume what should be the man's action. We have understood that man's action should be in this direction, towards pleasure. Now tell me, let's say individual writ large, let's say this is now state. ठीक है, let's try to make it like Durga Mata, lots of hand. This is who? State. Now what can state do? What are state action called? State action is called policy. And where should the direction be? कौन सी तरफ? Again same concept. So Bentham says कि wherever maximum, see, this is a term which you can calculate, loss and profit. So wherever is more profit, you go there. Your policy should be so that profit is maximizing. Here you are making loss, don't go there. Let's say you are calculating GDP, so ठीक है, do something that will increase GDP. Let's say you are calculating, what else is there, different type of GDP. There is no happiness index at that time, so let's not go there. Let's just assume GDP now. And because this is now state you're talking about, this was human you were talking about, this is now state, so you need to tell some other word कि भाई what should we call this. So here you call it greatest happiness of greatest number. Now understand, this might make no sense to lot of you, so I will try to do it once more. Greatest happiness of greatest number. Try to think it like this. What Bentham wants is to calculate happiness, which for Bentham is indistinguishable from pleasure. Happiness is pleasure, and pleasure can only come from materialistic thing. Make sense? Now understand again. Because they are all same thing for Bentham, what should be the state's policy? Your state policy should be in direction that will maximize what? This thing only, happiness, pleasure. What is the other word? Profit. Maximize profit. Okay. Now, isn't this just a justification for exploitation of workers? Can't you say that you're exploiting workers in the name that by profit will be maximized? Because that should be our direction. We are not going there, because there are only two things: loss, profit, pain and pleasure. मैन का तो एक्शन हो गया, स्टेट की पॉलिसी हो गई. Isn't this just justification for exploitation of workers? And this is why this whole theory is called pig's philosophy. Pig's philosophy. Because what does a pig do? It is only bothered about satisfying its appetite, nothing more. बस यही करना है. ठीक है. So this is a criticism. Now who is saying this thing? People are saying, let's say, कि ये तो यूटिलिटेरियन तो काफ़ी मतलब वेरी बदनाम थिंग, वेरी बदनाम. कहते अरे यू आर डिग्रेडिंग मैन टू जस्ट अ ह्यूमन, वो सॉरी जस्ट एन एनिमल. कि एपेटाइट के अलावा नथिंग इज देयर, ओनली प्लेजर सीकिंग, मैक्सिमाइजिंग प्रॉफिट, नथिंग एल्स इज देयर. एंड understand for Bentham there is no taste and flavor. Basically you can say कि this is, let's say one person is watching Bihari TV series and one person is watching, let's say, one USA का कोई sitcom, situation comedy, let's say Friends. Now this person is watching this person is watching this. According to Bentham, there is no division between pleasure in terms of quality. Understand? Quality. If you are deriving pleasure from watching this, it is okay. You can say you can get high pleasure or low pleasure. Let's say you crack UPSC. Which pleasure you will get? High pleasure. UPSC cracked. And let's say you woke up at 6 a.m. without an alarm clock. This will also give you pleasure, but this is a low kind of pleasure. But there is nothing like कि भाई this is, I should not be using high and low, it should be like more or less. ठीक है. यहाँ पे more pleasure you will get, more happiness you are feeling, more, right? Happiness, pleasure, same thing. Here you are getting less. कि भाई 6 a.m. उठ गए, less pleasure, but pleasure it is. But you cannot say कि this is high pleasure and this is low pleasure. Let's say one is watching, let's say, item song, चले छैया 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 छैया. One is watching this, ठीक है, day and night, and he is getting pleasure. And one person is watching it classic Kathak, Bharatnatyam, ठीक है. He is seeing tal and rhythm and etc. So it is not like के he can say कि अरे तुम्हारा वाला is बेकार, मेरा वाला is very upper class. No, not like that. According to Bentham, you cannot you cannot distinguish between level of pleasure in terms of quality. क्वालिटेटिव नहीं बोल सकते हो. ओके. क्वांटिटेटिव श्योर, quantitative okay, qualitative no. And because there is no quality index for Bentham, human cannot get anything on the basis of quality, only quantity. और quantity क्या होनी चाहिए? More, maximize. So इसकी personality, let's try to observe what kind of personality man has. And if this is another man, do you think there is any personality difference? Because there is no quality ka aspect. Whatever he is doing and whatever he is doing, there is no difference between the two. Both are going for quantity. Nobody is going for quality because quality concept is not there for Bentham. So both are like animals. ठीक है, both are just trying to satisfy their appetite. Now tell me, when you see a pig, when you see a pig and when you see another pig, do you differentiate between the two or their behavior? They both are just looking for food wherever it is, wherever it, if in the drain or anywhere. They, you will not differentiate between the two कि भैया ये राज वाला है and this is Vicky. No, not like that. Both are pig only. Pig is, देखो ना, pig. You do not name pig. Pig. As simple as that. No change in personality of one pig than another. It is not like he is better qualified, he is better. No, there is nothing like quality. ठीक है, so he is degrading man to the level of animal. Now if that thing is clear, understand, this is state, and these are man, human. Now what should be the actions of, what is the natural action of man? To go towards this direction, not this, because this is pleasure wali direction, profit wali direction. Everyone is trying to increase their profit, increase pressure, because these are one and the same thing, that is happiness for Bentham. ठीक है, you are not going in this direction, you will only go in this direction. Every man wants to do that only and he will be guided by that only. So what should be the policy of state? Policy of state should be to make these people go in this direction only, right? Now they are automatically going in that direction. So what should be the policy of state? The policy of state should be to do not intervene. Whatever you will do might hinder it, because natural process is that only, you are going toward pleasure, profit, happiness. So you should not be intervening. Now in liberalism, what do we call a state whose policy is not to intervene much? We call it as laissez-faire state. ठीक है, that is less is more. Less is more makes no sense, but less is more. काफी है, कम ही काफी है, नमक जितना, ज़्यादा नहीं. We do not want too much intervention. Now with this, you understand, let's say these three people are only there in state and everyone is trying to maximize their profit, maximize their happiness. So total combination of happiness of the overall society is too much, and if state intervenes it will hinder somebody. If it will push two more कि भाई तू ज़्यादा कर ले, let's say I am your friend, I am friend of two, then 1 and 3 will be, how will 2 more effective, how will 2 be more effective? Only at the cost of 1 and 3. So best policy is not intervene. But you understand criticism, क्योंकि भैया you are treating man as just a what, pig, satisfying their appetite, nothing more than that. Now will you listen to any criticism about me? Let's say I am your teacher, kind of. So we might not even having that level of interaction, but you get the point. Bentham is master of mill. Now will he listen to whatever people are saying? So he will come in defense of Bentham. Okay, I will defend my master. Why? Simply because it seems like his duty. It will seem like his duty. Now why will it seem like his duty? भैया मास्टर है, it is natural feeling. ठीक है. Now व्हाट इज द क्रिटिसिज्म कि बेंथम का यूटिलिटेरियनिज्म is Pick's philosophy. Now, what should you be doing? You should be defending it. What you actually does, you destroys it. You destroys Benthamism totally. But it is not right to say you destroy it. Let's say you changed it completely or reformed it. Now, why? So the answer to this question is because Bentham was not the only master Mill had. Mill also had masters like Plato. He was very influenced by Plato and Socrates, and their world was world of idea. And if you want to reform something that is so materialistic and you are influenced by Plato and Socrates, so what should be your method? That you will try to incorporate idealism with utilitarianism, and this will in turn destroy total Benthamism. Benthamism तो खत्म ही हो जाएगा. It will become something else. It will be a reformed utilitarianism. ठीक है. Now, if that is clear, let's try to see what he does and how he does it. So understand this thing. What was Bentham emphasizing upon? कि भाई प्रॉफिट पहले है, बाकी सब बाद में है. Because this is the objective of life, profit, or let's say pleasure, or let's say happiness. This is the purpose of life. Okay, so we should be maximizing it. Maximizing कैसे होगा? If there is very less state intervention. Lesser the state intervention because people are inclined to go towards that only. Maximizing profit. Now tell me one thing. तुम्हारा FCI, what does it do? It do public distribution system वाला काम. ठीक है. It does तुम्हारा procurement वाली चीज. Minimum crop prices it ensures. ठीक है. Now tell me, will this social security features allowed by state? No, it won't be allowed. Why? Because no intervention you are wanting. What you are wanting is laissez-faire state. Less is more. So tell me one thing, how will the poor come out of their poverty? So Bentham ka logic is that see every man is trying to go in this direction only. So the poor will get benefited by trickle down effect. RBI RBI, let's say, gives money to bank. This is bank. Let's say SBI. It gives money to SBI at 6%. ठीक है. 6%, that means 6%. Let's say if you are giving 100 rupees, you are supposed to get back 106. ठीक है. For this, what SBI does is SBI loan the money at 9%, so that it is giving 100 here, it is getting back 109. 3 it keeps. 3 is profit plus 3. Now if RBI wants to revive economy, let's try to decrease this interest to, let's say, 8%. So what should be the RBI का goal? RBI बोलेगा कि instead of 6% I will only take 5% from now. So it only has to give 105. ठीक है? So it means that even if you keep 8% interest here and you only get 8 back, you again make 3, you just make 5, but then again you can print anytime. तुम्हें तो need है ही नहीं. ठीक है? So what is this called? See, इतने तक you are doing whatever reduction you did in your interest rates, only this level it got shifted to. But people are also getting affected with lower interest rate because they are also reducing. What is this called? Trickle down effect. This is called trickle down effect. Similarly, let's say these are capitalists and they are maximizing their profit. So with maximization of profit, you mean that new factory will be established, more jobs. More jobs means more work. More work means more employment. ठीक है? So trickle down effect will come. Everybody will be happy with no state intervention. Let's try to understand how will Mill try to reform it. So understand Mill. First thing that you have to understand is Mill is also on same road. He understand कि भाई this is man and what he does is actions and it is guided by pleasure. As simple as that. He is with Bentham over this. You do not want to go here. This is pain. Understand this point. He is with Bentham on this. Bentham also says this thing. True. Now, what Bentham says is कि भाई जो pleasure वाला part है ये, which is also happiness. For Bentham, pleasure equal to happiness equals to profit. Same thing. For Bentham, this pleasure वाला part is only quantitative. UPSC crack या 6 AM without alarm. More happiness, less happiness. But there is nothing like Bihari TV or let's say Heather Shahid Kapoor. He's saying no difference between the two. You are deriving pleasure. You cannot distinguish between the two on the basis of quality. जिसकी वजह से it means there is no change in personality of people. They are all looking for anything that gives pleasure. ठीक है? So if somebody is drinking scotch, 10,000 rupee bottle scotch, and one is drinking, let's say, 20, 40 rupees desi tharra, there is no difference according to him. They are both fulfilling their appetite. Now this needs to change. So here we see a change. What does Mill say? Mill say कि भाई pleasure वाले part में there is definitely quantity, but there is quality also. Now because pleasure वाले part में this is there, man की personality would also incorporate this thing. Hence there is difference in man also. It is not like all men are same. ठीक है? And what his justification is that this quantity wala part is related to your satisfaction of body satisfy कर रहे हो. Quality wala part is satisfying your soul body. प्लेटो घुसा रहा है अंदर, देख लो. ठीक है? मेक सेंस. सही बात है. अब यू विल क्लीन गंगा, क्वांटिटी तो ठीक है, वन थिंग इज देयर, बट quality is also important, right? More water you will have, true, but you will also feel better कि भाई गंगा माता हमारी साफ सुथरी प्यारी प्यारी, right? Then let's say it is better to be a Socrates dissatisfied than a fool satisfied. Or you can say it, better to be a man dissatisfied than a pig satisfied. भैया you started with defending कि pig philosophy नहीं है, उसके बाद तुम कह रहे हो it is better कि man dissatisfied रहे than pig satisfied. So obviously we have totally changed the underlying assumption of Bentham, that pleasure is only quantitative, because you have said no it is qualitative also. ठीक है. Bentham used to say Pushpin is as good as poetry. This is Bentham's words. That is, Pushpin was a children play. Let's say सांप सीढ़ी, वैसा गेम है पुष्पिन. कहते पुष्पिन या फिर पोएट्री एक ही बात है. दिस इज बेंथम. सांप सीढ़ी इज स्नेक्स एंड लैडर, उस टाइप की चीज है पुष्पिन. चाइल्ड्स गेम. Okay, they play it with some dice. So it is as same as poetry you are reading. Same. But for him, Mill, it is better to be a man dissatisfied than a pig satisfied. It is better to be a Socrates dissatisfied than a fool satisfied. Now understand this thing. Poetry, if you go and read poetry to a pig, will it make any sense to him? No. Similarly, what Mill wants you to understand is that there are things that can satisfy a pig which will not satisfy a human being. What will satisfy this guy is not as same ना जो एक pig को will satisfy. और when you are declaring or differentiating between things कि ये वाली चीज़ satisfy करी है ये वाली, you are talking about quality. So if you understand this part, quality and quantity is important in Mill's theory. Now you are a man. What you do is action. What your action is guided by? Pleasure and pain. Basically pleasure. Pain तो you don't want to go na towards. So understand this thing. For Bentham, now try to lay focus on this part. This pleasure part is as same as happiness, is as same as pleasure, which is obviously materialistic in nature. और तो कुछ होता नहीं है, there is nothing else. Can we directly replace this with appetite? Appetite ही तो है. If quality is not there, so it is just anything give me, I will eat. I am like an animal. Appetite only I am going for. Similarly, state when I am declaring its policy. You are saying no intervention because everybody is good, going towards appetite seeking. endeavors in their life. Now let's try to think from Mill's perspective. Mill has differentiated कि भैया appetite is not there. Appetite is there, but quality also matters. So it is not like just this direction is there. Similarly, state policy could not be laissez-faire, or let's say non-interventionist. It cannot be. So the underlying principle of Benthamism, no state intervention. Bentham है Mill is removing first glance. Basis क्या है? Guiding. Who is guiding your action? Pleasure. And pleasure तो बस एक appetite ही है, nothing else. But when you remove this thing, then it is not like that, right? I'm not sure if you understand this or not. So what should be the guiding principle for Mill? If it is not appetite, what should be? Utility. Now understand, materialist pleasure definitely is. Isn't that the crux of utilitarianism? Benthamism is utilitarianism, and here you are saying that instead of appetite you will use utility. तो same चीज़ तो you are saying. Here is the part where he will destroy utilitarianism. Understand, this word for Mill means completely different thing. You have to take utility in widest sense. फिर से you try to understand. Bentham के लिए utility क्या है? What is it? It is just about feeding your appetite, nothing else. What can feed your appetite? Something material, obviously. So I should not be repeating materialist again and again. That should be understood by now. How will you use anything? Utility. Why would you seek utility? Because you want to fulfill your appetite. What Mill is saying, okay, you keep guiding principle as utility. This is good. I am following that. Only this part he follows, but his words have different meaning. First thing, quality, he acknowledged. Second thing, iska utility means completely different thing. It means utility in its widest sense. Now what does this mean? Widest sense. So understand, his widest sense means that same thing only. That is, quantity is there, quality also. Quality means satisfying your soul. Quantity means satisfying your body. As simple as that. Some person goes to gym, does let's say 10 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, etc. His body is tired, he is satisfied, but his soul is not satisfied. He's like, no, I want to do it more. ठीक है? Or let's say one person is doing party, now his body is tired but his soul is not tired. He will do party tomorrow also. But sometimes your body is fine, but you are not wanting to party. You feel like, no, first let's clear UPSC, then we will party. I hope you understand that. Okay, so I've taken too much time over this thing only, I guess. And one more part that I want to understand is, because otherwise I'll have to take it again. For Bentham, these are all same thing: happiness, pleasure, profit. For Mill, it is not. Understand this thing. Pleasure is different thing. Happiness is completely different thing. ठीक है? So make sure you understand that. वही है, क्वांटिटी की बात कर रहे हो तो प्लेजर की बात कर रहे हो, क्वालिटी की बात कर रहे हो हैप्पीनेस की बात कर रहे हो. So I guess you understand this reformed version of utilitarianism by Mill. So understand if that is understandable right now, let's try to understand some implication. The implication would be that, see, utilitarianism or Benthamism was, let's say, these were people and they were looking at this theory कि भाई ये तो is very bad. It is making human seem like just pig, just another depraved animal. ठीक है, कुछ no ethics, no ethical values, क्या बकवास. ठीक है, that feeling was being generated, and this was supposed to help capitalist class, but it was not able to because, again, see na, feelings of these workers, they will be feeling क्या बेकार चीज़ है, such bad thing. But now with this reformation, with this reform, this utilitarianism can have more acceptance. ठीक है, क्योंकि इसमें अब क्वालिटी की बात भी ला दी है. ठीक है, सो देसी ठर्रा 40 रुपीज़, नो, ब्रिटिश स्कॉच, ओके ओके स्कॉच. ठीक है, नो बीड़ी, मालबोरो. For everything, for every business now, quality is a good thing. You can go for brand values. Now you can make sure कि भाई bed sheet or let's say Nirma, whatever, Tide, okay, don't just use normal soap. Acceptance, and you are making, see, criticism क्या था कि भाई काफ़ी it is selfish सा है, लग रहा है सब, only going towards fulfilling your appetite. Now you are making it more humane. क्वालिटी डाल दी तो थोड़ा ह्यूमेन है. इट इज़ नॉट साउंडिंग लाइक एनिमल्स थ्योरी के एनिमल ही बिहेवियर है पूरा. प्लस लेट्स से मोर लेजिटिमेट. You want to put forward the theories for people as keeping this concept as base, reformed utilitarianism. You need to have more legitimacy to it. ठीक है, people तो are giving गाली कि what is this utilitarianism, we don't like this thing, we don't like this thing. ठीक है, now you are giving it more legitimacy, so understand the implication. So with that being clear, let's talk about liberty. Now Mill has been called as prophet of empty liberty. Prophet, messenger, empty, khali, liberty, liberty. Meanwhile, I told you in beginning that if anyone is liberal, it is Mill. Do you see contradiction in the two? If anyone is liberal, वो Mill है. But दूसरी तरफ we are saying खाली liberty, empty liberty. Not, मतलब एक नकली liberty का messenger है, not real liberty. Now understand what is there. Obviously Locke has given First time, life, liberty, property, liberty, but he talked in context of only acquiring property and its security, which was supposed to be given by state, which is supposed to act as just your chokidar, night watchman. That part is clear. Hence, we call Locke as father of liberalism, but he has not given a detailed study of liberalism. No, detail में नहीं बताया है कुछ. So who is giving in detail? ठीक है. Who will be talking first time in detail? JS. Will he be talking about property? No भैया, property पे तो इसने काफी बोल लिया. So what you will talk about is about the core value that there is in liberalism. Principle of liberty. What is liberty? Liberation of man. Liberation of man. From what? From outdated customs. तुम्हारे custom है, ठीक है, सती प्रथा. करें क्या? नो. लिबरेशन, कास्ट, क्रीड, ट्रेडिशंस ही तो है ये. इफ कास्ट इज नॉट ट्रेडिशन देन व्हाट एल्स इज. ठीक है. चला आ रहा है, चला आ रहा है, जो चला आ रहा है वही उसी से तो हटना है. ठीक है. लेट्स से women confined under the four walls of home and kitchen, इसी चीज से निकलना है. लिबरेशन. ठीक है. आर्बिट्रेरी एक्शन. किसका? मोदी का. सेडिशन चार्जेस. इस चीज से हटना है. ये चीज नहीं होनी चाहिए. देयर शुड नॉट बी एनीथिंग. सो आर्बिट्रेरी एक्शन ऑफ स्टेट आल्सो इज इंक्लूडेड इन लिबर्टी. मतलब नथिंग शुड बी हैपनिंग अननेसेसरी, मतलब जिसकी जरूरत नहीं है. अननेसेसरी थिंग हो रही है. नाउ वेयर यू विल बी रीडिंग अबाउट JS Mill, his book Liberty. ठीक है. सो his contribution to liberalism is too much. Now understand. Till now we see we were talking about utilitarianism, which is always confined with fulfilling our desire, profit seeking motives, self endeavor. Man is trying to fulfill his appetite, nothing else. But what is the precondition for that? Always liberty is the precondition. Now what have we just done? We have just reformed utilitarianism. We have reformed it. We have made it very suitable now, that people are starting to accept it very सही सही. ठीक है. Everybody is like okay, I accept it, utilitarianism concept. But precondition तो फिर भी यही है. Liberty. if you are free if you are free तभी तो you will be able to, let's say you are free, then you will try to fill your appetite na. Let's say you want to be a UPSC aspirant, but your parents are not helping you, parents are not supporting, friends are not supporting. Technically you are not free. Let's say a 15-year-old child wants to give UPSC exam. He is not free. He can't give. He can give only at 22. He cannot give next year. So liberty is your precondition. You have to have liberty. तभी तो तुम utilitarianism करोगे. तभी तो सोचोगे. Let's say you are not allowed to walk. You cannot walk. You are not allowed to walk. Can you think of going to any place? Let's say you want to go to Qutub Minar. How will you go if you are not allowed to go outside your home? You are in house arrest. Why you are in house arrest? ऐसे ही टाइम पास, मस्ती थी. Because let's say mood था, Modi's mood, you are in house arrest. When you ask why, आंसर इज मूड। मूड की बात है। ओके, नाउ डू यू थिंक you can think of giving UPSC if you are in house arrest? Why? Because mood की बात थी उसकी, मोदी की। No, precondition is liberty. You have to have liberty, तब you can think of anything, whether roaming in the world or let's say you want to sell momos. You want to sell momos, but you are not allowed to cook. Why? बस कुछ है reason. मूड की बात है। Getting my point? ठीक है। So liberty precondition है utilitarianism का, and we have just reformed it. So what will be our next step? कि चलो इससे रिलेटेड और क्या क्या है उसको भी सुधार देते हैं। लेट्स ट्राई टू रिफॉर्म अच्छे से वॉट एवर एल्स इज देयर नियर बाय। सो वी सॉ कि भाई प्री कंडीशन इज लिबर्टी, एंड लिबर्टी में अभी तक व्हाट डू वी हैव? ओनली प्रॉपर्टी। हु वाज सेइंग अबाउट प्रॉपर्टी? लॉक। what else is there in liberty? No. So technically there is no exhaustive study of liberty. So let's try to give exhaustive study of liberty. Who am I am Mill. If that thing is clear, ठीक है? So understand this thing. When I'm saying that liberty is precondition from utility, I have not said that this is bigger or this is bigger. Can you say which is the bigger thing? It is like talking about hen and egg. कौन पहले आया बताओ? It makes no sense, right, to question this thing. But yet we see that this part जो है ना, utilitarianism, till now there is only property in liberty. So utilitarianism has been overshadowing liberty. ठीक है? Now you have to see this, okay, how we will be rectifying this. So according to Mill, he says liberty will benefit man. How? Because man will be able to go towards his pleasure seeking behavior, which is now including quality aspect also. Therefore pleasure is not happiness. Pleasure के लिए कुछ लोग जा रहे हैं, कुछ लोग जा रहे हैं for happiness. Happiness is soul satisfying people. Pleasure is, let's say, what is pleasure? Body satisfying goals. Body satisfying goal मतलब let's say profit. ठीक है? So let's call it #1, #2, because he has made sure that pleasure is different than happiness. Happiness is soul satisfaction, pleasure is body satisfaction. Now this part is utilitarian part, and we are always talking about this part only. Let's try to understand the precondition liberty. This needs to be there, and if this is there, this man will be doing his best to live a very good life and the best life. And if let's say all of the people are living their best life, this is one set of people, and let's say here another set of people, here they are, let's say, fighting. Let's call it Syria, and let's call this USA. Here everyone is free, liberal, liberty is there, everyone is happy, doing their best, generating maximum trickle down effect. Now we have incorporated quality aspect also, so their soul is also happy. ठीक है? So who will be having more command authority in international relations, USA or Syria? USA will be. So it is beneficial for man also, it is beneficial for the state also. Liberty, up till now we were seeing liberty as something that only man has right upon, man का absolute right, benefiting man. But no, Mill is saying कि state को भी तो benefit हो रहा है. State will command so high authority and esteem, social esteem. Okay, so understand liberty of Mill as capacity. What is liberty? You can think of liberty as, see, we did, I think, Hobbes, and from Hobbes, when we were doing, we talked about liberty there also, but there liberty उतना ही था where law was not there. So there काफ़ी negative sense में we were talking about कि you are restricting movement. Let's say this bottle, so अंदर पानी है, there is water inside, so there is capacity to flow, but there is law. So काफ़ी negative sense में we were talking Hobbes, when we were talking Hobbes. So what was liberty there? Absence of law. If there is no absence, there is liberty. Now understand, time is going only that time only. So 100 200 years के time है, there is no much thought that has developed in the Western culture. And वही negative वाला part, negative liberty, this concept is only there. There is no concept of positive liberty till now in the world. So J.S. Mill is quite, let's say, many times he has been said as being very inconsistent. He is inconsistent. Started with defending, जो defend कर रहा है, it is like defending utilitarianism, destroying it. Similarly, you are talking about, you are wanting absolute liberty, but you will end up limiting, limit लगा दोगे. Now understand, inconsistency की issue जो है is because till now we have just done Hobbes, and Hobbes was talking about liberty equals to absence of law. तो काफ़ी अंडरस्टैंड नेगेटिव सेंस में यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, किसी को लिमिट कर दिया, मतलब लिबर्टी इज व्हेन देयर इज नो लॉ. काफ़ी नेगेटिव सेंस इट इज. आई विल मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड इट्स लेटर, चलो, बट कीप दिस इन माइंड और रिमाइंड मी इफ आई फॉरगेट टू टेल यू. ठीक है, पॉजिटिव वाला इज नॉट देयर till now, is not there. So he is actually wanting to talk about positive, but positive concept is not there, so he is confused कि negative ही है, तो इसलिए his interpretation is always negative because there is no other such thing as positive. ठीक है, let's say capacity, when we are talking about, when we give reservation, let's say, so it is not like we are discriminating, we are not discriminating against general category. What we are discriminating is, we are discriminating for, we are not discriminating against someone, we are discriminating for the weaker sections of the society. But anyhow, let's try to understand this part first. So understand this thing. Liberty precondition for utilitarian. This part we have talked a lot, and this part we have reformed, तो इसको मार्क कर देते हैं टाटा. Now we be talking about liberty, and liberty में property only we have talked about, and थोड़ा सा negative sense में कि liberty how do we deny it. ठीक है, यहाँ हॉब्स में पढ़ा था, प्रॉपर्टी लॉक्स में पढ़ा था. Now what we are trying to see is Mill's view, and Mill is saying कि भाई for man also liberty is good, for state also, liberty is good thing. We have seen how, because USA, everyone is well affluent. You are taxing them. See na, you are only going to profit. You have more esteem, more command. Now, what is this process? Try to understand. Let's try to imagine a person over this half. He has, let's say, liberty. If he has liberty, he can do something in his life. Can seek, he can try to get pleasure or happiness. Pleasure है मतलब body satisfy करेगा. Body satisfy करेगा तो उसको पैसा चाहिए. पैसा चाहिए तो that means he wants a job. Job है तो भाई कुछ specific skill you have to develop. If you want to, let's say, satisfy your soul, तो चलो ठीक है, या तो मंदिर, टेम्पल. चलो एथियस्ट हो तो भाई यूपीएससी दे लो, समाज सेवा बनो करो. Okay, if that thing is clear, understand whatever he will be doing is, let's say you go to Apple, you become an engineer. What will be you be doing? You will be creating phone, you will be developing something. Let's say you become a civil engineer. What will you be doing? You will be working so that you get a salary. But working क्या? रोड बना रहे हो, डैम बना रहे हो. Let's say you become a IAS officer. ठीक है, तो you are going to some village and you are trying to develop it. You are trying to smooth line it with the, let's say, agricultural units nearby, agricultural mandis nearby. ठीक है, हो क्या रहा है, what is going on? Development. See, when I say utilitarianism, it will feel very very selfish thing कि अरे utility, yuck, I don't want to be a utilitarianism. But when I see development, everybody will say yes, we want development. तो उसका सेम ही चीज है, nothing much is there. When you have refined or reformed utilitarianism, you can easily call it as development. And then what will be the precondition for development? Now understand, कॉमन मैन को यूटिलिटेरिज्म तो समझ में आएगा नहीं, मुझसे बोला भी नहीं जा रहा है. अ वर्ड विच आई एम नॉट इवन एबल टू प्रोनाउंस इट प्रॉपरली ईच टाइम. यूटिलिटेरियनिज्म. ठीक है, वेरी फास्ट आई एम नॉट एबल टू स्पीक. यूटिलिटेरियनिज्म. यूटिलिटेरियनिज्म. ओके, आई विल डू इट लेटर. तो इट इज़ अ इजी वर्ड, डेवलपमेंट. एवरीबडी अंडरस्टैंड डेवलपमेंट. अगेन डेवलपमेंट का प्री कंडीशन व्हाट विल बी? डेवलपमेंट का प्री कंडीशन विल बी लिबर्टी. एज सिंपल एज दैट. बिकॉज लिबर्टी होता क्या है? अरे थोड़ा फ्री हो तभी तो कुछ करोगे. दैट थिंग इज वेरी वेरी क्लियर. दिस इज मिल का एजेंडा. इट मेक्स क्लियर. सो लिबर्टी फॉर हिम इज, if you want to define liberty, what you can say? Opportunity for development. Can you say this thing? Think about it. Opportunity. If you have liberty, let's say you are 22-year-old, you are sitting at home. Do you have the opportunity for development? बिल्कुल है. You can write UPSC भाई. Self development, society development, everything you have. Let's say you are 22 and government का law है कि nobody can work after 22. After 60, let's say, nobody can work. There is no opportunity for development for him. Sure, there is at soul level, but तुमने saving भी करी है, invest करो, etc. But I hope you get my point. कुछ नहीं है, word play है. Try to do it like this only. बना लो चाहे तो ये graph. Make this graph everything. This is the most easily available. ठीक है, this thing you will not find anywhere. ठीक है, because this book you won't ever find anywhere. ठीक है, चलो. If that is clear, See, same word only we have to change so that this is all politics. Try to remember. सब politics है. You are just trying to यूटिलिटेरियनिज्म का मतलब थोड़ा रिफाइन कर दिया. उसके बाद समझ लो उसको डेवलपमेंट भी बोल सकते हैं. डेवलपमेंट बोलेंगे. जब इसको डेवलपमेंट बोल सकते हैं तो लिबर्टी को अपॉर्चुनिटी क्यों नहीं बोल सकते? ट्रू. तो अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर डेवलपमेंट इज एज सेम एज लिबर्टी फॉर यूटिलिटी. ठीक है. इवन योर लेट्स से washrooms, public toilets are called as public utilities. Now understand the statement that we sometimes call you are at your liberty to use the facilities. We say this. You are at liberty to use the facilities. What facilities? Washroom, utility. Get it? थोड़ा कॉमन सेंस लगाओगे तो भी चीज़ें आ जाएंगी. Now understand this thing. No state becomes great by dwarfing its own people. I hope you are able to understand. Same thing. Opportunity for development. ठीक है. Let's now think of a country, China. Is there liberty with people in China? Are they free to do whatever they want? Obviously not whatever they want, but are they free to pursue their dreams अच्छे से? Natural dreams, not manufactured dreams. So answer is no. Are you economically very powerful? Yes, you are economically very powerful and rich. But what do you not have? Liberty. You don't have. You are rich. You do not have liberty. What do you think is the future there? And how come that is economically rich now? Do you think a person would want to be Chinese? No, obviously this is Western philosophy, so they are thinking that they know everything about China. So let's not try to go in this thing. This won't make sense because you read about civilization of China if you get time. So it is not actually accurate to take China in this account because I've seen books taking this China into account for this, but it is not right because China culture is completely different and they are on every mark, whether GDP or growth, they are doing fine. They are better able to remove the social, let's say, situation of the people there than the rest of the world. So we should not be questioning it just because they are not liberal or following the democratic principles, because it is not necessary to follow the democratic principles. Hitler ki Germany was very affluent than past Germany's and after Germany's. ठीक है. Sure, there are lot of chances that you become unstable or you destabilize the world, but छोड़ो, let's not talk about it much. Now understand, when we are talking of liberty, that is freedom, that is azadi. So one major question is how much? कितनी दे भाई? ठीक है. How much? So for this thing, Mill comes up with a harm principle. harm philosophy, harm principle. Now what does this mean? So in very crude sense, he has, see, what can a man do? Action. डायरेक्शन क्या होगा? प्लेजर वाला, ठीक है, हैप्पीनेस वाला, सेम ही है. हैप्पीनेस इज सोल, pleasure is body satisfying. Let's say you are earning money, or let's say you are saving money, तो भाई soul satisfy है कि चलो I can retire easily. ठीक है. Now what Mill tries to do is he breaks this action into two parts. He says, man, two types of actions are there. Action 1 and action 2. And अब तुम जा रहे हो किधर? Pleasure की तरफ, happiness की तरफ. This is pain. Now he calls one as self regarding, and this is others regarding. Understand what you are doing to your body, whatever you are eating, you are smoking, you are drinking. It is up to you. You do whatever you want, man. Let's say this is state. Can state tell you कि भैया stop smoking? No, it cannot. It is your body. Who is the sovereign of your body? You are the sovereign of your body. You are in the command of your body. So in this part, there cannot be any interference by the state. What was Bentham wanting? State should have no interference. Laissez-faire state. Less is more. No interference, no intervention. His intervention was in total dimension, not even social security systems or social security schemes. No, let's say income redistribution system. Nothing. He wanted no intervention whatsoever. But Mill is saying कि action जो हैं there are two types. Self regarding, अपने साथ क्या कर रहे हो, and then there are some actions which have effect on others. ठीक है. In this self regarding, अपनी body के साथ क्या खा रहे हो, क्या पी रहे हो, क्या कर रहे हो, it is completely up to you. State cannot intervene, but state can intervene if you are doing something to others body, others. ठीक है. Otherwise option is that they will start killing you, beating you in their self defense. तो better ये state आ जाए to stop the civil war. Let's say you are driving irrationally. You are driving a car and you are drunk. So how will you drive? You will drive very irrationally. What can happen? Arey, you can kill yourself, I don't care. But in an accident, you can kill some other person also. You can kill other. You can damage other property. You can damage another human being life. This is why who will come? Who will stop you? State can intervene. State can intervene and stop you. I do not care if you die of alcoholism. I do not care. But if you are harming other, your action can harm others, state can intervene. Who am I? I am state. So I will come here. I don't care. I won't come here. I can definitely, if you wanting to smoke, I will definitely issue a warning sign over the whatever is the box, the cigarette box. I will issue a sign. I will let you know that you will harm yourself. But after that, you are sovereign. You are sovereign over your body. Do whatever you do, man. ठीक है. But I won't allow you to smoke in a public place where you will smoke giving passive क्या बोलते हैं इस चीज़ को, something passive is there, right, in smoking. When you are smoking, then I guess people nearby also get affected because they inhale. Passive smoking, I think it is called. Not sure. Check. ठीक है? So I can definitely stop this. This is not allowed in public. I am who? I am state. If that thing is clear, Bentham का was no interference कहीं पे भी by state. Mill का, Mill ने first he divided the actions into one is self regarding, one is others regarding. Now tell me ऐसा कुछ होता है क्या? आदमी ऐसे सोचता है self regarding other regarding? There is nothing like that. Plus what is other regarding? You can say I am killing myself. Let's say I am killing myself. Don't you see that family will be affected? Neighbors will be affected. The property where I will, let's say I got get hanged from the fan. ठीक है? Do you think my property will sell for its value, whatever it is? It will sell for less. People will be hesitant कि भैया यहाँ तो भूत घूम रहा होगा. ठीक है? So this becomes very very broad. ठीक है? Now inconsistent thinker we call him. Why? See ना point. पहले तो तुम ये रैंडम चीज कर रहे हो, एक्शन को सेल्फ एंड अदर में कन्वर्ट कर रहे हो, देन ये अदर is unspecified, it is very very vague. You can call almost anything as other regarding. ठीक है? So you are justifying कि others में state intervention कर सकती है, state can intervene, but the scope सोचो ना, scope is such large scope is there in other regarding that almost everything is there, so you can technically do anything. So at one you are starting to define, or let's say grant liberty, which is precondition for your development, or let's say utilitarianism. You are wanting to justify liberty, but liberty की बात करते करते you have just given state को intervention की power. You are saying you started here, you ended up here, justifying intervention of state in other, but भैया other का scope तो is too much. कितना inconsistent one person can be? ठीक है? So inconsistency there is always in mill. Now what can state do? State will try to limit, whatever state will do, it will try to limit who? Person. Let's say if he is driving car, being drunk, ठीक है, तो इसको ले लिया, लिमिट कर दिया, यू कैन नॉट ड्राइव, बट ही इज सेइंग कि भैया बट आई वांट टू, आई एम ओला कैब ड्राइवर, दिस इज माय अर्निंग, इकोनॉमी इज रनिंग. नो, यू कैन नॉट. क्या आर यू अगेंस्ट डेवलपमेंट? नो, आई एम प्रो लाइफ. It is not. But see, understand this thing, this concept of positive discrimination is not there at his time, so he will not see that I am trying to, who am I am state. Mill was not able to comprehend कि भाई I am pro life, ये चीज़ नहीं सोच रहा हो, कोई नहीं सोच रहा मैं जान बचा रहा हूँ, I can intervene because I am saving life. Because positive का concept is not there, only negative का है. Negative means limit, लिमिट कर दो किसी को, तो इसलिए ही इज नॉट एबल टू डिफेंड his liberalism. He is not able to defend his liberalism because he is always seeing state intervention. as a limiting unit or limiting entity process. When state is intervening, let's say, to provide free education in India, free education कहीं तो पहुंचाती होगी, और let's say government schools, let's say health benefits, आयुष, जन आरोग्य, or let's say public distribution system, or let's say minimum support price. Are these not state intervention? Yes, they are state intervention. But problem is that now we know that these are positive state intervention. State is trying to increase capacity. We know this thing. But at that time there was no concept of these things. There was only concept of negative. Negative means limiting. Limiting. Understand यार, रूसो वूसो का टाइम था तब, फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन ये सब चल रहा था वर्ल्ड में. Everyone was always talking about rights. So whatever was state intervening into, they were thinking that भाई limit कर रहे हैं मेरी rights को. These were the most loved things at that time, because नया नया आया था, सबको लगता था ये चुरा लेंगे, तो काफ़ी नेगेटिव कंसेंट था कि स्टेट आ रहा है तो लिमिट ही कर रहा होगा. देयर वॉज नो काउंटर और आर्ग्यूमेंट लाइक दिस कि आई एम लिमिटिंग यू बिकॉज आई एम प्रो लाइफ, आई डोंट वांट यू टू किल योर सेल्फ, आई डू नॉट वांट यू टू हार्म एनी वन एल्स. ठीक है. सो मिल से जब पूछते थे कि हाउ हाउ कैन यू डिफेंड योर लिबरलिज्म, यू आर अलाउइंग स्टेट इंटरवेंशन, ही वॉज नॉट एबल टू डिफेंड इट because he acknowledged कि हाँ यार, I do not want to, according to him, if state is intervening, my rights are getting limited, and this is negative thing. He was not able to comprehend कि नहीं भाई, it is a good thing. ठीक है. So I think you can always write that he was inconsistent because of his time, a time where only negative liberty was known. Negative. There was no idea or concept of positive liberty, which will be given by T.H. Green. ठीक है. We will study it in our liberalist scholars. Now, try to understand. Otherwise, I will forget it. When we will be studying liberalism अलग से भी, तो we'll try to consolidate everything. But try to understand. Liberty and capacity. Positive liberty, negative liberty. Now, what is positive liberty? When I'm giving you house, when I'm giving you, let's say, cheap loans, ठीक है, cheap loan, priority sector loan I am giving you for, let's say, MSME, or let's say no collateral loans, or let's say, what did Muhammad Yunus started? Grameen Bank in Bangladesh. What was he doing? But he was not state. Let's not consider him. Grameen banks. But cooperatives, Indian cooperatives, और let's say cooperative में पैक्स वगैरह सब इंक्लूड हो गया. और let's say your services, your आधार services. आधार से क्या होता है? You are able to get passport also. You can apply for bank account also. So it is helping you. It is helping you build capacity. So capacity building program जो है, that these are coming in positive intervention of state, positive liberty. ठीक है. State is intervening so that your skills, you are better in a position. Let's say you have passport. If you have passport, then only you can go outside and get education, do MS, or let's say go outside to China, see what is there, and come back and start importing stuff from there, build a business. You are We are building capacity for you. ठीक है? Now understand negative liberty. Here state is intervening, but you are not benefiting at all. You are not benefiting at all in the sense that your production level won't, your life goal, यार ऐसा समझो, nothing significant will happen. You are driving a car and I am stopping you, I am not allowing you to drive this vehicle. I am not allowing you to drive this vehicle. I have stopped you, I have detained you. Now I have limited your, let's say, liberty to drive vehicle, but you are drunk. Now let's say tomorrow you will not be drunk, you will be sober. You can drive that vehicle, sure. You have paid a fine, 2000 rupees, let's say. Do you think that his productivity will increase? Have I am who? I am state. Have I done anything that can increase his productivity? No, I have done nothing. I have just limited him for that time because he could have harmed himself. He could have harmed another person. Let's say this person is walking on road, ठीक है? Or let's say harm property. This is parliament, ठीक है? Because he is drunk driving a vehicle. Vehicle has lot of power, ठीक है? But here when I am intervening, it is in positive sense, positive liberty. You are getting passport, you are getting let's say public distributed ration card, ration system, ठीक है? You are getting food grains 30 kg, or ठीक है, let's say minimum support price, you are growing crops, I am providing you. It is helping you to develop. This is not helping you to develop, but this is helping you survive, or let's say I believe so. Now I understand. You think that why is it negative? Understand this. I can also put sedition charge on you. I can also put sedition charge on you. You are speaking, freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, let's say you have speech and expression, but you are saying something about India. I can put sedition charge on you. I am limiting you. Will your productivity tomorrow get hampered? Yes, maybe. You could have done job tomorrow, but you won't be. Why? Because you are in jail. Here also, your productivity is hampering your development process. Yes, 2000 you are out of. ठीक है. Plus one day you have to go to court also to get your driving license. Now sedition charge. Why do I have to intervene so that you stop speaking rubbish things? Why? Because I am afraid if you start speaking, others could start speaking. It could lead to civil unrest. ठीक है? Anything could happen. I am not allowing. Basically, there is some reasonable cause I have, reasonable restriction. That is why I am putting over you. तभी तो लगा रहा हूँ reasonable लग रहा है तो. Now this is putting you in jail for let's say 1 month. Your productivity is declining. You will not be contributing to your development or society ka development. Hence the negative, if that is clear to you. So always try to think positive. Chalo. Now negative Mill will always talk about, okay, in this sense, not this sense. This is like positive state intervention, state helping in capacity building. Positive liberalism is capacity building, as simple as that. With this over, let's try to artificial separation. Understand what Mill has just defined, के actions can be self regarding and others regarding. This term is called as artificial separation that Mill has included in his approach. So keep that as first point. Artificially, you are separating actions in self and other. Not even it is artificially separating, it is a very metaphysical concept. Along with your concept of real will. Now, real will, we know what is, Rousseau has given. But what Mill is saying is that bhai, real will of man can never be to die. Why would anyone want to die? There can never be a real will of dying. Now, metaphysical, क्योंकि it is not true. Let's say a man is saying I want to die, but you are saying this is not what he means. Now, how do you know what he means? You are saying I know what he means because I know what he is thinking. It is very, very not of this world. You are saying you know what he do not know in his head. So it is very, very, some person is belonging to physical world, but what you are talking about is not here. So ये है physical और ideal world के बीच में कहीं metaphysical. ठीक है. Real will is actual concept, but his concept of real will is kind of metaphysical. Like he's saying I want to die, and he is hanging himself. He gives a example that this bridge is there and a person is walking over it, and this bridge is here, bombs are there, let's say, and this bomb is supposed to blast in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3. Meanwhile this person is walking here. ठीक है. This person also know the bomb is here. This person also know bomb is here. State can yet come and take them away कि भैया this bridge is supposed to fall. Justification कि भाई रियल विल थोड़ी होगी किसी की मरने की. Now let's say इसको मरना ही था. Let's say he wanted to die only. So yet you are saying no, no, I'm sure real will is not this. Okay. So euthanasia, you read about this. What do you think about that concept? Okay. So I think we will continue next time. ठीक है, उसका स्पीच करवाना है तो लेट हो जाएगा. चलो फिर, ओके, बाय बाय.